thanks for joining me here on the Need2Know Comedy Show.
Oh, cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. You were actually recommended by a couple of people, so
Cool.
you're highly regarded. So,
Nice.
did you you grew up in Birmingham? Is it?
No.
No.
Oxford.
Oh, Oxford. Okay, I don't know why I got that mixed up there. Yeah. So, you were into comedy when you were going to school, were you? And kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young age, like 10, 12.
You were like writing, like, what were your kind of things? Were you actually writing stuff at that age, or were you just into watching stuff?
No, I was just into it. I suppose I started writing stuff when I was like 14, 13.
Really? Yeah. Like stand-up or sketches or?
Stand-up.
Really? All right. Okay. But you weren't actually, you were just keeping it to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of stuff were you watching? Like, what kind of comedy was influencing you?
Well, in those days, like, I mainly watched, like, I like Dave Chappelle. I liked African American comics because, like, there weren't many Black British comics in those days.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of the white English comics, I didn't really understand a lot of their material. But the ethnic comics, especially as a kid, like, they would talk about experiences in the home, which is the most interesting thing I'd done at that age. So I kind of got it, I felt.
Right, yeah. And so, but like, you didn't really get up on stage until you went to uni, is it?
Yeah.
And is that because you felt, oh, you're away from you? What people won't know you? Like, I can do it here.
Yeah, partly that. Partly there were just more clubs around where my uni was. My uni was in London, so. But yeah, I the idea of doing it to people I know still freaks me out.
Me too. The worst thing that could possibly happen is have my sister or someone like that sitting in the front row. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. One of the biggest shows I've ever did, like, my sister was right at the front. And I was like, in my head, I'm going, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, because it just freaks you out when you can't, you know what I mean? You're going to be looking at a relative and going, are they laughing?
Oh, yeah.
And also they would kind of know if you were making up stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm just agreeing, yeah.
Yeah, if you say something about your family and in your head you're going, well, that's not strictly true. You're kind of exaggerating something. And you go, oh, she knows that. She knows that.
Yeah.
So do you remember your first gig?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So where was that?
A place called Lionsden in Piccadilly Circus.
Oh, how did you feel? Like, nervous beforehand, I presume?
Yeah. It's surreal, because it's always like a lifetime goal of mine. And I was visiting them for a few months to, like, get a feel for them. And my objective was just don't be the worst. So I told myself, just don't. If you're not the worst, you can go home and not be ashamed. I was the second worst, so it could have been worse.
And did you like just feel like the adrenaline rush afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get much of an adrenaline rush because I didn't really get many laughs. But I guess like the couple I did get, it was alright. But I thought after one go, it's hard to assess anyway.
It's hard to assess it from one go.
Yeah, like even if I did absolutely awfully, I still would have probably tried it a few more times.
Absolutely, yeah. I think very few people have an amazing first gig. How could you? Like, I certainly didn't. And so, what were you studying in university?
Politics.
Oh, really? Yeah. And have you finished that, or are you still studying?
Yeah, I finished it now.
All right, cool. And would that influence what you're doing in comedy? Do you do political?
People ask that, but no, not really, not at all.
Right.
Yeah.
but like what you do is kind of, well, I've seen what you do, so I don't know why I asked that, but it's kind of personal, isn't it? It's about your. I mean, you mentioned your uncle and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess yeah, that and the fact I do the degree. I mean, but I'm not as politically active as I think some of my content would make me appear.
Right. Oh yeah, because so when you started out, were you doing material about race more than you are now, perhaps?
Yeah, but I mean, like I say, this politics connection is because my uncle happened to do that, and I actually wanted to do a chemistry degree.
Ah, okay.
But I didn't get the grades for that.
Okay, right, yeah. But so look, I mean, I know that you grew up in a Sudanese area, isn't it? Is that?
Yeah.
But your mum is from Sierra Leone, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess it's too complicated to try and explain all of that on stage. So, and have you ever been to Sierra Leone?
No, my mum never went there either.
Oh, she grew up in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So is that like is that something that you feel though gives you kind of an extra, like, because you know, just your background being different, does that give you a unique kind of thing to talk about when you're on stage?
I think so. I didn't realize that at first because, like, in the community I grew up in, my background was not really a big deal. Most people are descended from other places, but like in comedy, obviously, yeah, it does, I feel.
And I read somewhere that you, like, a lot of your comics you liked as well were Scottish and Irish, and I was wondering why that would be in particular.
Oh yeah, if we're talking British comics, my main guys were the Scottish and Irish guys, because it's like, man, I see them as like white black guys, as in they just, it's a bit of a generalization, but I just find their cultures, they're a bit more like us, like they're chill, like they'll crack jokes, they're not as reserved and stuff like that, like
Okay, yeah,
like a bit freer. I don't know, a bit less repressed. I find their cultures as opposed to English culture.
Oh yeah, okay. Actually, I've heard that when people come to Ireland as well, they feel people of maybe an ethnic background come to Ireland, they feel it's less, or it's a bit more freer. But I don't know why that is. But we drink a lot though, and that makes us a lot freer. So. So I don't know. So I know. So how long did it take to get to feeling like you were, this is the thing I want to do?
Good question, man. I always wanted to do it, to be honest. But I only really had the confidence to do it, I'd say, after like winning a few things.
Yeah.
Then I thought, like, all right, I could feasibly do this and be good. It's not just a pipe dream now.
Yeah. So like, what kind of thing? I know you were in the BBC. Was it BBC Newcomers?
Yeah. New Comedy Award.
New Comedy Award. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you get you won a thing to get into, what is it called? You get into the Pleasance, isn't it? Comedy Reserve. Pleasance Comedy Reserve. What's that about?
Yeah. That's like kind of called like an internship for comedy. So like there's like quite like, I think like a few hundred comics apply, and then like I think they pick about 40 to do the tryouts, and there's 2 nights of tryouts, and they pick 2 each to then go on this comedy reserve thing at the Pleasance. They fund your accommodation, They start your flyering, they fund that, and you are guaranteed an audience every night, obviously, because it's in the Pleasance, and you are also guaranteed first choice when you want to do an hour show there. So it's a good deal.
Oh, okay. So you do the whole month there, yeah?
Mm.
With but you're sharing the show is like what, 4 comics or something?
Yeah.
And then if you go back, you get first choice to do your hour show. So are you going to go back this year?
No, I don't think I want to go back.
You don't ever want to go back?
No, not to do a show. I might go back for like a few days, chill now.
Are you serious? Wow, that's interesting. I thought it's what most comics like. It's their dream to do a show at Edinburgh, though.
Yeah, not me though.
Wow, man. So, how would you see things going? Do the club circuit?
Yeah, I'd rather do that. Do things online.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. But would you feel like you'd want to eventually do your own show or tour with your own show?
What, like, you mean just like a normal tour without the Fringe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Without going to Edinburgh, but just touring a show.
Oh, yeah. I would, yeah, that's the goal, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but you don't want to do it through the Edinburgh. Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Edinburgh was kind of like that's where everybody wants to go and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite refreshing to hear somebody go, oh, no, I'm not interested. And because it's a different feel. I mean, don't you think there's kind of a different feel to doing an Edinburgh show than doing the club show?
Yeah, that's the reason why I don't want to, because I just feel like all the money it takes as well, the thousands, to do it right. I feel like I could invest that in other things online. And I also feel like a lot of me and some of my peers as well, like the demographics that would come to see us, some of these people haven't even heard of the Edinburgh Fringe. So
yeah.
It's I just feel like it's the age of the internet, man. There's always a different way. We'll see though.
Yeah. You're right, actually. Yeah, it is true. You can get through to fucking thousands of people just on Instagram. It's a different world, yeah. And also, you get a very old, you get quite an old middle class audience in Edinburgh. I feel, anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of Guardian reader. They're stroking their chin while they're going, is this politically correct to laugh at this? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I know. I agree, particularly Pleasance. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know why I would make I don't know. I also find it kind of a bit cheesy, man. Like, I got to make this really deep, unfunny story that, like, I don't know, goes with a Guardian narrative. I'd rather just, I mean, obviously I appreciate depth and comedy, we all do, but I'd rather just put it in as I feel and be funny, kind of thing.
Nice one. Fair fucks to you. That's good. That's great to hear that. Because, yeah, I don't know. It is a totally different scene. And like, do you think there's that would be the attitude of a lot of younger comedians?
I don't know. No, I don't. Maybe not straight away. Because, like I said, my friends are like, "Oh, you're crazy,"
Right.
But I think it would never be the norm because, like, people always want security, and that's the more secure of the two. But I think you also would get an increase of this over time.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't have the power that it used to have. Like, if you won what used to be the Perrier Award, you were like you were pretty much guaranteed to probably have some kind of a TV show. But now, I don't know if you even remember who wins the prize. I don't. So it's not as big as it was. So when you were getting to the say at March, you were just doing the clubs up to March when everything stopped. Is it? You were doing like the clubs in the UK, yeah.
Yeah.
And have you gone over to any other gigs outside of the UK?
I haven't yet.
No.
I was trying to go to the Netherlands actually,
Yeah.
but that's obviously, don't know when that's gonna happen now. Yeah.
Can't go there now. Yeah. And is there are there more black comics now in the UK as opposed to when you were growing up?
Yeah, completely. There's like, there's several now. Growing up, they probably count on one hand.
Right. Yeah. And is there a black comedy scene as well, as opposed to just the normal? Sorry, I'm not saying normal, but
Right.
opposed to like in America, there are clubs that are just black audience for black comics, and probably there's probably Mexican clubs for Mexican comics as well. Does that happen here in the UK?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you have a black comedy scene. You have, I believe you have one for like, I think most of the ethnic groups. I think there's an Arab one. There's like a South Asian one. And there's a Jewish one. Like there's I think LGBT kind of stand. I think that may be a bit more cabaret based, but there's something for everyone.
Right. Okay. And so, do you perform in that scene as well?
Yeah. I've done a few, not as many as I would like, but I've done some. Yeah.
And then, so when you're performing in a club like that, do you feel that you can do material that a white audience wouldn't get?
Now, to be honest, I use the same stuff. I feel like the audiences in London or Manchester, these places and stuff, the clubs, they're not really white. The only audience I'd say I do that seems very white is like Pleasance.
Okay, right, in Edinburgh.
Yeah, but like most of these audiences and stuff in the South, sorry, not in the South, these like the clubs and cities and stuff, it's just, most of these people are used to like living in a diverse community or society, so they get things.
That's pretty cool, actually. That's great to hear that, you know. And so, is stand-up your thing then? Would you be interested in acting or sketches or, I don't know, musical comedy, anything like that?
I would, you know what? None of that stuff I enjoy, but I would do it all to benefit me. But I wouldn't. It's not like a true passion. I would do that for a check.
Yeah. But stand up is your love. That's what you love doing.
In an ideal world, I would just do that. Yeah.
That's great, man. That's great, because a lot of people like use stand up to get success, and then they just want to be a chat show host or host a game show or something like that.
Fuck that, man. I'm not interested.
Yeah. So yeah, do you think there's like so that you reckon there's a difference as well between like so you grew up watching American comedy. Do you feel like there is a difference between American comedy and UK comedy? What would that be?
Yeah. Completely. I feel like maybe less so now because things are more like globalized now, but it's still like, I don't know, I feel like American comedy, it seems a lot more outspoken, I find, and like blunt. I feel like with our comedy, like particularly like in England, it's particularly the stuff that goes places, it's a lot more like, I don't know, it's a lot less like, they wouldn't say anything outright, but it's like more in the subtlety of I don't know if I make it, like, it's not as, they wouldn't, like, you wouldn't see it, somebody saying some outlandish thing about like men or like Mexicans as like a Bill Burr would maybe do, for example. Like,
yeah,
everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like, you know?
Yeah, I love that about American comedy, actually. It can be really shocking. Like, even Chris Rock can say something really shocking and then he'll explain why that's true.
Yes.
And, do you know?
Yeah.
And he does it really well, because I think he's it was his father, a preacher or something. He seems to have this really amazing style where he'll keep
Yeah,
repeating the same phrase. He'll come back to the same phrase. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, so like a Chris Rock, for example, and yeah, I feel like when there's shock value stuff here, it's always like meant to be a joke.
Yeah, like a punchline or oh yeah. I know what you mean. It's
Yeah,
kind of like, oh look, I'm dark.
yeah. And then, but I don't know. I just feel like cultures are different. I guess, but I don't know. But I always like those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I guess partly for that reason as
Yeah,
well.
cool. Have your family come see you, and what do they think about what you're at?
Some of them have seen me. I don't like them seeing me.
I mean, is that actually true? Where you say that your uncle, you tried to explain what you're doing, and he said, "Oh, I know what you're doing. You're a clown."
Yeah, he called me a clown. Yeah, yeah. He doesn't respect what I'm doing. Yeah, he says, "Why would you do that?" I mean, it's not like he's like ashamed. It's not like that deep, but he's just like, "Why would you do that? Like, what's wrong? What the hell? Do something else." But it was cool.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking mad. Like when you start out, it's nuts. My father came to see me once, and it was the worst gig I ever had. I died in my arse, so
Yeah.
it was horrible. And he never came to see me again. But
Because of that.
no, he just didn't get it. Like he was old. Like he was old. Like when I was born, he was like 44. So he would have been like when I started in comedy. He'd been about 70. Like he wouldn't have got it.
Okay.
And he was a farmer. Like he's a farmer. Like he's dead now, but he was a farmer who just didn't watch. He didn't watch sitcoms or anything. He just watched the news and any news about farming. And do you know what I mean? It just wasn't part of his world.
Yeah,
Stand-up.
I see.
Yeah. He didn't know. He never watched any stand-up comedy. I don't know what he thought was funny. Actually, I think he probably watched Laurel and Hardy or something like that. I don't know. So I was never going to be. I was never going to make him proud. So,
Oh yeah.
unless I was rich, I suppose. But that didn't
I
happen.
get it. I never. Well, my uncle said even if you become a millionaire, I still won't like it. So yeah.
Oh really? Yeah. Even that's not going
Yeah.
to work for your uncle. Fuck. That's mad. Yeah. That's mad. So are you like pissed off about not being able to gig now? Like it's kind of shite.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want gigs back now. For a bit, I didn't mind it. I sometimes want the world to stop in normal times. I sometimes think, why couldn't the world just stop? But it stopped for too long now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice rest for a while, but I'm fucking so frustrated now. I've actually taken some gigs in where is it, in Prague, and I'm really worried about advertising them, where people would give out to me and say, "Oh no, you're going to bring back the coronavirus." But so I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm doing them, which is not a good way to advertise a gig.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
was gonna say, man, how are you gonna get people there?
Well, I just want them to advertise it over in
Yeah.
Prague, but stop putting it up on my Facebook page, because I know that people in Ireland will be going, "What a bastard! He's going over there. He's going to bring back the virus and kill loads of people."
Okay.
Well, I'm so frustrated. I just want to do a gig, you know.
No, I get it.
So I'll see. Anyway, they might be cancelled. Who knows? So yeah, two people recommended you. I can't remember who they were now. I think Finlay. Chris, what's his name? Christian Finlay? Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Patrick Healy as well, I think, actually. Do you know Patrick as well?
Yeah, that's the one I was told about. I didn't know Finlay did. It's nice of him.
Finlay did as well, yeah. So, so you have to now, because it's the Need to Know Comedy Show, you have to recommend someone that you reckon is really good, and someone that I suppose is a contemporary of yours.
Well, you've already done Finlay. I was going to recommend him.
Are you serious? Oh no,
Yeah.
I've just interviewed him about 3 or 4 days ago.
Okay, I recommend a guy called Michael Odewale.
Michael Odewale.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I'll look him up and we'll get
Great,
him on.
great comic. Doing big things.
Yeah, tell me a bit about him.
He got nominated for the Newcomer Award in Edinburgh. Been on Comedy Central like a couple of times during the lockdown. And,
right. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, we've had some really good people on that were recommended, and I recently talked to Charlie George. I don't know if you know her, but
yeah,
she's very funny. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting for me because I'm getting to know some new comics and some brilliant stuff out there that I hadn't discovered before. So I'll have a look. And listen, thanks for coming on. I hope you enjoyed the chat.
Yeah.
Don't be so enthusiastic, man.
No, it's the Asperger's, man. Yeah, no, I did, man. Thank you.
I'm only messing.
No.
Okay. Well, listen, thanks. Nice talking to you, Mamoun, and hopefully things will it'll open up again and you'll be back on stage, and I'd love to see you.
Hopefully. Thank you for having me. Have a good day, man.
All right, you too, Mamoun. Bye-bye.